I'm Doug, and on behalf of everyone at Eminence, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this video on Eminence IRs in combination with the HeadRush MX5. This box has a tiny footprint, huge sounds, is super easy to use, and gets even better in combination with Eminence IRs, the majority of which were shot by Michael Britt, but there's also a Christian Cole metal IR pack that's great for way more than just metal. At the top, you heard this Les Paul. Pickup selector is reversed here, so it was in the bridge position. I was utilizing the DC distortion into the 59 basement and utilizing the CV75 IR. What we're going to do in this video is play through a range of styles and sounds. I'll be kind of describing what I was doing, kind of some of the strategy behind that. And then at the very end of the video, there's going to be a tutorial on getting IRs from the laptop into the device. Incredibly easy, as well as some strategies on making it so you don't have a giant list of IRs. All right, with that said, I'll see you after the next demo. So that was my Strat in the neck position, utilizing the Vibreverb model and a bit of reverb, as well as the Legend 1258 IR. Just in case you didn't know, Eminence is extremely highly regarded in the OEM, original equipment manufacturer space. That is to say, they make speakers that have appeared in a number of the world's most popular and iconic amplifiers. And the 1258 is one of their most popular speakers. On to the next demo. So that was my SG in the bridge position, utilizing the SL100 Super Lead 100 amp model. And there you were hearing one of Christian Cole's IRs, the DV77 Linear. In case you didn't know, the DV77 is the Mick Thompson of Slipknot signature speaker. It's a great sounding speaker. And as I mentioned before, Christian's IRs aren't just great for metal. That was a really cool classic rock vibe. I love the interplay between the strings and the way it felt underneath the fingers. Moving on. So on that one, I was doing something a little bit different. Bridge position here, and inside the MX5, I had a combination of two different tweed amps panned left and right. The 59 Deluxe Gain mod, as well as the 59 Basement. They can be wonderfully jangly, but at the same time, sometimes they can be a little bright on the top end. So I was utilizing the DV77 Fat IR, again from Christian Cole. The thing that's great about that is it just tames a little bit of the top end and makes it jangly, smooth, and rich. One of my favorite things about the MX5 in combination with these IRs is I found it a really musical experience where not only did I sit there and spend a bunch of time just playing and having a great time in the process, but also the demos happened very quickly once I kind of was done just having a great time playing the guitar. So that one there was the Plexiglass 67 Vari, which is basically a Variact 67 Plexi. Now, I was still over on one of Christian's IRs, but this one was really cool. It's basically three speakers combined. It's the DV77, the CV75, and the Swamp Thing. And what's neat is you kind of get the nuance of all those speakers kind of doing what they do so well at the same time. So I mentioned in the Tweed demo, I was utilizing two different amplifiers, pan left and right, into one IR. This time I kind of flipped the script. In many ways, it's easier to start with one amp and just mess with one tone source and then use two different IRs to manipulate the stereo space. So what you were hearing was this guitar in the bridge position. I was utilizing basically a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier model that is referred to as the 92 tread plate vintage. And I was hitting the front end of that with a virtual tube screamer. And then I was utilizing two IRs panned left and right, the Canvas Rex and the CV75. And I really love the way it just kind of manipulates the stereo field. All right, that gets us to this next section of the video, where we're going to be talking about how to get IRs from your computer onto the MX5. And this is one of the areas that this device really excels, but I also want to give you some tips on how to make the most of this process so you don't end up with a giant list of IRs that you're scrolling through, potentially getting frustrated in the process. Once you're ready to load IRs on your MX5, the process is incredibly straightforward. Connect the included USB cable to the MX5 and your computer, hit the three dots, select Global Settings, hit the three dots again, and then hit USB Transfer. So the cool thing is your HeadRush is going to show up as an external drive, like a thumb drive. You simply select it, and then you want to go up to the Impulse Responses folder. And I already have an Eminence folder created, but let's presume you haven't done something like this yet. You're simply going to go File, New Folder, and create a new folder, and we're going to call that something like New IRs for right now. And then you're basically ready to drag and drop IRs into that folder. And once you've done that, you simply eject the HeadRush and head back over to the MX5. So now we simply hit sync and it updates. This is actually a really quick process. And once that's done, we're going to back up to the last preset that I used with the two different IRs and replace one of them. All right, so here we are. We're going to take this IR right here, and it's now in the off state. And now what we're going to do is we're going to head over here and we're going to create a new IR slot. That is, all right, navigate to custom IR. We want to go to default here. Now here's the thing. These are actually IR presets that I created that are kind of like favorites. You can do that. It's actually a great way if you know you're going to use something like a plexi and you're going to use the same cabinet over and over. It's a great time saver. In any case, we're going to head to default here. And this is how we are going to get to my Eminence folder, or if you scroll here, the new IRs folder that we created. Easy as that. Now, if we navigate down to here, you're going to see this nice list of IRs. A couple of things to point out. All of Christian's IRs end with words like angry, fat, clean scoop, presence boost. Makes it really easy to try to find something that's specific for your needs. Now, I've done something here with the names of these. If you look at the beginning, 01, 01, 01, 01, 02, I've amended the names of these IRs with the folder number in which they came so I could keep track of them. It makes the names of these longer than they would normally be. That's the length that it would actually normally be. All right, as we scroll down to the bottom here, you get to the IRs that Michael Brick created. And if you notice, the names are nice and short and easy to read. All right, notice also that these all end in 57 Royer. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later. I'm going to select the governor, and I'm now going to navigate down to the gain here. If you notice, it comes in at 5. First of all, I noticed already that these IRs are hotter than stock cabinets. So it's just starting off by just bringing the gain just down to 0 and starting at least at 0. You probably need to bring it a little bit lower than that, but that's a matter of preference just so it matches any of the stock cabinets. Once you've selected that, we then back out of here. And now we are in our preset and we've got our new IR. How cool is that? A minute ago, I called out the IRs that ended with 57 Royer. Basically, what that's saying is they were captured with, in this case, a Shure SM57 and a Royer 101. The combination of the 57 and either Royer 101 or 121 is my favorite combination because, in my opinion, it sounds most like the speaker in the room. So the thing is, when Eminence gave me all their IRs, it was this giant folder filled with stuff. to try and make sense of it so I could actually do these videos, I just decided I'm just going to use the 57 and the 101 because, again, that to me sounds most like the speaker. It's great to get to know those other microphones, especially if you don't, in terms of how they interact with the IRs. But generally speaking, I just want the character of the speaker as close as I can come to it. So here's the deal. By just reducing it down to those IRs that were captured with the 57 and the 101, I dramatically reduced the number of IRs that I had to choose from, which means that as I was scrolling through that list, I actually knew all the different IRs that were on there. So it meant if I wanted to go to a particular sound, I knew how to get there. One of the most frustrating things is as you're just scrolling and you're just kind of like, I don't know. And that's not a musical way to interact with the technology. I want like, oh, I want that sound, boom, and I go for it. All right, that gets us to the end of this video. For more information about Eminence IRs, please visit eminence-digital.com. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I want to invite you to do so. Don't forget to ring the bell so we can let you know when more videos are going to go online. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Cheers.